Hello everybody, it's Richie here, otherwise known as King Dick. Baseball season started, and the Dodgers are in first place after one game. I did a vinyl finds last week. I'm doing another one a week later, which is surprising. I actually bought 2 albums. Used albums, but I do have 6 to show, and I'll explain that as the video goes on. First of all, though, last week I did a shout out for Siren Records Monterey. I mentioned that I think nearly everybody that enjoys my videos would enjoy theirs. I looked right before I came to do this, and it looks like maybe their subscription rate kind of doubled. It's still under 100, which is kind of a shame because it is a great channel. They show all the new releases every Friday, and it's not just the new albums, it's all the reissues. They're showing everything. You know, they're showing the 60 Psych reissues all the way to the new death metal issue. They're showing everything, and it's really cool to hear their take on everything. But more than that, the interaction, the 2 people in the videos have great personalities, and the interaction, it's really cool. Check them out and subscribe. I think you would really like their channel. I'm going to give a shout out, a couple of shout outs in this one. I know shout outs are for sissies, but whatever. I'm going to give a shout out to Vinyl79. He's an exception to my rule. I normally do not watch videos where you do not see the person in camera. You just see their hands or the records. I normally don't like those. I noticed Dots and Loops starting to make some of those, and I don't think it's a good idea. Dots and loops. But Vinyl79, he's camera shy. I don't know. I think he's doing it for other reasons, for stolen identity or something like that. And I don't think that's how stolen identity really works. They just get your information. They don't want your likeness. But anyways, he shows his finds. And the reason I like him is because he does interact with the vinyl community. He makes comments on all my videos. He right now I was on the Dyke Sarek live stream, or Psych Derek live stream, and he goes on those, and he interacts. He knows what he's talking about. He always has witty comments. So I do try to watch his videos, though I normally do not watch the ones where you're not showing your face. Okay, let's get on. Like I said, I bought 2 used records. I bought them at Burger Records in Fullerton 2 days ago, Wednesday. Went to go pick up my daughter at college. I was about an hour early, so I dropped into Burger Records. It's not far from the campus. And this I picked up 2. This first one here is one that I don't think many people have seen before. It's the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I don't have a copy of this. I got rid of, the past 6 to 8 months, I've gotten rid of more albums than I have bought. If you look up here, these are all pretty tight, the first 2 rows. But those are all my punk. But down below, there's some room down here. And I got rid of all my Beatle records that were not in great shape. If it's not good enough to play, I don't need it. I'm not a collector that way, you know. I don't need various copies of the same album. I do have a few exceptions to that rule, but I didn't have I got rid of the 2 copies I had of this. They were both kind of scratchy. This is the Giles Martin 2017 remaster. That's the one I wanted. I've seen this album like in the $22 to $24 brand new, But I kind of wanted the double album, the one with the extra takes, the bonus tracks. And it's out of print. And it's selling in the $100 range on eBay and Discogs. And there's no way. I mean, the outtakes or the bonus tracks on this are not that good. I mean, the bonus tracks on the White album, the Giles Martin remastered, the bonus tracks on the White album are better than the bonus tracks here. But I must say, I like this mix better than he did on the White album. I like them both, but I think this is excellent. It's the best version of Sgt. Pepper's I've ever listened to. Now, I know this was originally done in mono, and that's they spent all their time in the mono, and the stereo mix was an afterthought. But I generally like stereo mixes better than mono mixes, and this is the best version of this album I've ever heard. You can hear Ringo's drumming so clearly. You can hear Paul's bass. Just his bass playing is phenomenal, and it's just everything is so separated and so clear. It's not as muddled, and you don't realize how great of an album it is until you've heard this. Fantastic. Got it for $30. I thought, man, $30. So I looked. The records look great. So I thought, maybe this isn't the Giles Martin mix. So I asked the guy. He wasn't really sure. I asked the other guy there. He goes, I think it's the newest mix of it. And I go, okay, whatever. I'm going to take a chance. Because I know it had the bonus track, so I was pretty certain. I got it out. I got it home, and sure enough, it is the Giles Martin mix. It comes on these Parlophone labels. Like I said, double album. It comes with these sleeves. Like, apparently these are the original sleeves that the album originally came in. It has this insert. Really good information. And reading this, I verified that this is the Giles Martin remix. It goes into detail on this here of all the bonus tracks, what take it is and whatnot. And what was really interesting here is the back photo or the album cover. It goes into each person, and there were a couple of people that they actually let's see, number 12 is Leo Gorcey, an actor. They painted him out because he wanted to get paid. You numbskull. But yeah, anyways, I'm great. I think it's great. They're probably gonna do an Abbey Road. I don't know about that. Abbey Road, I think is mixed pretty well. I would love to see them do a Magical Mystery Tour. I mean, I know it's not an official album release in England, but those songs, they need a remix in stereo, dude, by Giles Martin. It's one of their best albums, in my opinion. Anyways, the second album I got there is an album I've been looking for a very long time. The Electric Prunes Underground. It's their second album. I have never seen this album in good shape. And I found this copy for $22. Bounced all over it. Fantastic. It's got The Great Banana Hoax, Dr. Dogood. I mean, shoot. Some people like this album better than the first. I think they're both great. Great garage psyche. 60s goodness. Original sleeve. And it is on that old tricolor reprise. Fantastic find. So those are the two albums I bought this past week with cash money. Last Saturday I went to Amoeba Records. I traded in, took 9 records in. And I got $60. It was pretty good. It was a little more than I thought I was going to get. I traded in some Miles Davis, some of my 80s Miles Davis. I watched a video a couple of weeks back. It was Sgt. Pepper It's one of them guys that shows mostly Beatles stuff. And I don't watch a lot of his videos anymore because I don't watch too many of the Beatles channels anymore. It's like, how many times can I look at the same record? Even though the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. But anyways, he was showing in the thumbnail, it was a Miles Davis. So I was like, I'll watch it. And I was thinking, he was, he had bought like 3 or 4 80s Miles Davis ones. And I was thinking, I have those, but I'm never going to listen to them. So I got them out and I listened to each one. And they're not really bad, but if I'm going to listen to Miles Davis, I'm not going to listen to those. So what's the point of keeping them? I got rid of them. I kept one. But I got rid of Hermits. In fact, it's the Hermits that I showed in my vinyl tag video. The one where I said it's a good album with a really bad cover. I listened to it. It has some really great songs on it. A few. One really garagey. A couple of their singles. But the other stuff is just like, nah. I'm not going to listen to it. I got rid of a Love and Spoonful album that, even though I do like Love and Spoonful, the album is so-so. So I got rid of it. Anyways, I got $60 for 9 albums. Little over $6 a record, which is pretty good for a trade-in. And I ended up paying $4 out of my pocket. Put it that way. For those, and I got rid of 9 albums that I'm not going to listen to. First one I got is Static Age by the Misfits. This originally came out, I believe, in 97. It's all tracks that were recorded in 78, I believe. I believe they had a copyright to a name, and they gave up that copyright for some studio time. The story's something like that. And they recorded these 17 tracks. They might have recorded some other stuff, but I mean, most punk bands in the 70s were not getting real studio time. And definitely they weren't able to overdub. I mean, they would usually go in, play live, and some cheap-ass label would print a single or something. But yeah, this is really well done. Really great songs. Some of these songs saw the light of day as some of their first singles, 7 inches and EPs. But it's good to have it all on one album. And fantastic. I'm thinking maybe next week I'm going to do a Misfits vinyl collection video. And then I think the following week after that, I might do another Black Flag video. I did one a couple of years back, but the video quality is not very good. And I just thought I would reboot it, The studios can reboot Spider-Man 4 times, Why can't I reboot my Black Flag? This is the original sleeve, I'm assuming. And the record comes in these nice sleeves. Very plain label. The Misfits. Static Age. Classic. This next one is The Remains, an album that came out probably in 68 or so. 66 in the summer 60. I don't know. 60s garage band. I don't know much about them. This is a Record Store Day album, $19. I don't know what it was selling for on Record Store Day. But yeah, it's not quite as garagey as I've only listened. This is the one I've listened to the least out of all these records I'm going to show. It's not as garagey as I thought it was going to be. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't blow my socks off. Some of the songs did, but I know a lot of people like this album, so I'm glad I have it. I'm sure upon further listens I'm going to love it. But man, that looks nice. The white vinyl on yellow epic sleeve or label. But the one out of the 3 that I was most excited about was this one here. Wireless by L7. It's a live, I guess, radio broadcast from Brazil. Recorded in Brisbane, whatever that is. I saw this a couple of visits ago, and I didn't know about the sound quality. So I listened to this online, and it's fantastic. So that was the first I wanted to. I went to L7 to see if they had this still, and they did. So this one was the most expensive, $27, but it's fantastic, dude. And it wasn't no cash out of my pocket, so what the heck? They have a couple of other. It's on Easy Action Records. They have a couple of other ones, and I can't find anything online. But I'm thinking of maybe getting those. If they're anything like this, man, gee, fantastic. This is recorded about the time that Bricks Are Heavy album came out. And this has songs from their first and from that Bricks Are Heavy. Really good mix of songs. L7 are one of my favorite bands from the 90s. And from Long Beach, I think, the LA area. Really frosty yellow. Very cool. And it sounds great. Now, this last album I got, it's one I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered this maybe in December of last year or January. 3 or 4 months ago. And it's American Idols on Sorry State Records. It's a double album comp of North Carolina punk bands. 362, and this is 171. I looked online right before making this video, and they have 2 remaining. So it's almost sold out. But yeah, it's hardcore. If you're not into hardcore, you're not gonna like this. But I dig it. It's a lot to go through. It's all these bands are on it, and each band has 2 to 3 songs. So it's kind of reminiscent of those 80s punk comps like This Is Boston, Not LA, where each band had like 3 or 4 songs. And really cool booklet. I don't know if you're going to see that. Pretty cool. Each band has a page. That looks like limp wrist right there. But yeah, really cool. This band here, I have a couple of their singles on Sorry State. But yeah, really cool. Very plain labels. That's it. I think I mentioned it, but the Dodgers are in first place after 1 game. Anyways, take care, everybody. I'll be back next week with a Misfits video. Take care. Love you. Go Dodgers.